So you have to be super discerning on the internet nowadays, like always, because there are so many people who just want to lie to you in order to get personal gain for themselves. Hey, I'm just an average guy trying to make $100,000 online only using things like Amazon and YouTube, and I'm posting about it every day until I do. And yesterday on Amazon and my 3 monetized YouTube channels, I made $79.56. That brings my total over 178 days to $16,100.54, and that's an average per day of $90.45. And since the beginning of this challenge, I've shared my real numbers. Like, this is how much I've made. You can see my progress over time. It's not explosive numbers, but they're my real numbers. And I'm just showing how an average guy like me can make a little bit of money online with a goal of $100,000 in a period of 1 year. And I want to make an annual income of that. That's what I want to do going forward. And I'm not going to call any specific channel out specifically because, I could be wrong, but it just seems like there's a lot of channels who share these really big numbers and say that's what they're making as far as their income. A lot of them, I doubt it. And I've been following several channels lately, several of them way younger than me, people in their 20s, some people even in their teens who at least started in their teens, and they share these really big numbers. And in some ways it's inspiring because it's like a lot of them share really good information too. It's not like they're just sharing nothing at all. A lot of them have good tips. A lot of them is, very sound advice for many of them. They have good leads oftentimes in terms of the kinds of things you can try online to see if it works for you, and different things are going to work for different people. So, I commend them in that and putting out regular content, but oftentimes the figures that they share and the numbers that they say that they're personally getting are so outlandish that I just can't believe them on those things. And some people say, there's the old phrase, fake it till you make it, right? And maybe that's what they're trying to do. I don't know. It just seems like they're also setting up this idyllic, unrealistic expectation that you can make a certain amount of money in a year if you follow their plan. And that sucks a lot of people in and gives them false expectations that it's almost impossible to do that. Now, like I said, it's possible that they're not lying. I mean, there are 8 billion people in the world, and every once in a while, one of them is going to rise really, really fast. I mean, Mr. Beast, in a way, did the same thing. He kind of trugged at it for a long time, but then once he started growing, it was explosive. It was explosive. I was talking to my kids the other day about how, he had this trying to get PewDiePie to be the top YouTuber in the world over T-Series, and they were neck and neck, and eventually PewDiePie lost that battle. But Mr. Beast was trying really hard to have PewDiePie be the #1 subscribed YouTube channel. And now, if you look at the stats, Mr. Beast flew by T-Series. Like, it's not even close. So yes, there's going to be cases out there where one person, even in the face of odds stacked against them, is going to rise above that. And then, but you can't, a couple things. You can't normalize that and generalize that to the point of saying, well, if he can do it, then everyone can do it. No. So on this channel, I say, if I can do it, you can do it too. I'm sharing real numbers, right? I'm not saying if all of a sudden I exploded, then everyone can do that same thing too. I would love to explode, but I'm also realistic enough to say, if I were to explode, if I were to blow up my channel, if I were to, get this not just 100,000, I think that's realistic for just about anyone, honestly. If I were to just blow past that and get $1 million in a year, I don't think that's attainable for everyone. So that's not what I'm saying on this channel. But it seems like these channels that I've been watching are just lying when they say that you can. When they say they made $1 million in their first year of business, and then $2 million and $4 million in a year. It's just like, one, I don't think you're telling the truth. And two, to imply that everyone, if they follow your same steps, can do the exact same thing and see the same results, that's just dishonest, right? And now they're doing that because they think that if they share those kinds of numbers, and maybe it's true, more people will follow them and they'll blow up even faster. Maybe that's true. But a business built on dishonesty is just flat out wrong. Once again, I'm not sharing any specific channels because there's always a doubt in my mind that says, well, maybe these specific ones are actually sharing their real numbers. I don't know. I did see a video not too long ago that showed how if you wanted to fake your numbers on sharing your behind the scenes from Amazon or YouTube, you could very easily do so just by changing the currency by which you're saying that you're accepting this money. So instead of showing US dollars, I could show, I don't know, whatever country also used that same dollar sign as their symbol for currency. And then it would show something completely different in terms of how much money I've made. So maybe they're doing that. I don't know. Regardless of how they're doing it, I am certain that certain channels, like I said, I'm not going to name any names, but certain channels that I watch are just fudging their numbers and giving people false expectations. Now, here's the thing. Can you make money online? Absolutely. Like, I started doing what I do about almost 5 years ago now. In 2021, I got my first YouTube channel monetized. It was Hope and Sunshine, and its very first month, it made a little over $300. That's unusual, honestly. A lot of channels don't make that much their first month, and it kind of went up and down for several months, and it stayed around $300 to $500 for the first several months. Then it exploded that same year in 2021. It actually made $3,333 in 1 month. That's the most it's ever made in 1 month. Even since then, in the last almost 4 years now, it hasn't made anywhere close to that. Usually, once again, it's hovering around $500, $400 per month. But these are my real numbers. I'm being honest here in terms of like sharing my progress, sharing my journey along the way. In 2022, maybe it was 2021. Once again, I can't remember the exact date, but I'll put it on the screen. I ended up joining the Amazon influencer program. And then since then, that's actually made more money than YouTube has. And I show those real numbers. I share those real numbers every day as well. I want people to have a realistic expectation of what you actually can see if you put in the work. I've been putting in some work to see these kinds of results. It hasn't been easy. Oftentimes, I've made like 5 or 6 product review videos in a single day and posted them all on that channel. And that leads to commissions both on-site and off-site Amazon. And it takes a lot of work to be able to put that many in. I've since kind of backed down and slowed down in terms of how many I post per day. I oftentimes don't accept nearly as many free products from other companies, and that kind of limits how many products I can review in a day. I've decided at one point I'm not going to accept free products generally anymore unless I just really, really like the product that they're offering. Instead, I always say, hey, I'll do a video review for $50, and then I'll oftentimes negotiate down to like $30 or so per video. But I say all this to say, I am not like this kind of person to say, follow my plan and you'll make $1 million in a year. That just sounds so ridiculously unbelievable. And we shouldn't get sucked into people making false promises, things that just sound so good to be true, because all we're really doing is, one, we're helping them in their YouTube career. Another thing, if they were really making that kind of money, do you really think that they'd be posting on YouTube? Maybe they're altruistic to the degree of really wanting to share their information. Maybe, but it seems to me like they're trying to fake it till they make it. I don't know. You tell me what you think. Let me know in a comment. Here's what I say, and I say this honestly: if I can do all this, you can do it too. I'm just an average guy.